We in the building, baby. We in the building. All right, we're good to go. Good to go. What it do? Angry Black Man Media Squad. It's your main man, Chief Sock G, coming to y'all live from Memphis, Tennessee. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I want to say good afternoon and welcome to everybody that's tuning in. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with me, man. You live on the Angry Perspective. You know what I'm saying? Right here on the Angry Black Man Media channel, man. Going live with y'all. Right now, I'm in the midst of a Madden game, so I'm gonna be multitasking right now. Man, this cat team stack. This shit crazy. Just wanted to come holler at y'all, man, about some sports. We're gonna talk some bread and circus. You know what I'm saying? I said I'm in the middle of playing this Madden right now. But yeah, man, just all the time on social media. See a lot of brothers having different discussions and different conversations about sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them cats that like to stay up on all the latest news on what's going on in the football, the basketball. You know what I'm saying? Those are pretty my primary sports. But you know what I'm saying? I get down with a little bit of the, you know what I'm saying, soccer, baseball, stuff like that. But I grew up in a very sports oriented household, man. So sports has just always been something that was a part of my life, part of, just entertainment value, but it's also the competitive aspect of it. I've never really been a diehard fan of any particular team, but I've always valued, you know, um, just the sports overall in general. You know what I'm saying? If anybody asks you, they tell you that there we go, Cowboys fan, Knicks fan since I was young. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in Washington D.C. area, you know what I'm saying? Watched Patrick Ewing play for the Georgetown Hoyas. I'm saying all my uncles back in the days, I grew up with four uncles. They was all boxers. You know what I'm saying? But my uncles was real heavy into the sports. So back then in the '80s, you didn't have Sports Center and all these different shows where they constantly, come on, you got to hold on to that, constantly showing you highlights and all of the reels of these different teams and different games, and particularly in the summers when you wouldn't have any sports besides baseball. You know what I'm saying? It was rough for guys who was really into sports like that. So my uncles, what they used to do is they used to record NCAA tournament games. They used to record the basketball playoffs. They used to record the football playoffs, and then during the off season in the summer times, they would just watch the tapes back. So I grew up as a young kid watching videotapes of NCAA tournaments from prior years, watching videotapes of the NBA playoffs, watching videotapes of the NFL playoffs. So when I was growing up, that's how I was able to, being born in the late '80s, I was able to watch Akeem Olajuwon when he was in college and Clyde Drexler for Houston. I was able to watch Patrick Ewing when he played for Georgetown. I was able to see Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins and all of them when they played for Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And so there we go. Having that experience growing up, as I became a man, like I said, I've always just had a real fondness for the competitive aspect of the sports. And really, when I watch basketball and football, I don't just see the players and their athleticism. I kind of see them as chess pieces on a board. So I kind of see the strategies of the sports unfolding, you know what I'm saying, as they playing. And so same thing could be said for boxing. I grew up in a household full of boxers. So, watching boxing matches, it wasn't just, this cat's height and size and speed. It was actually, you know, how is he stepping when he throw his right jab? Or how is he leaning before he come with the straight, you know what I'm saying? Or where is he, feinting to get an opening to hit a, you know what I'm saying, hook to the body. So that's the kind of way that I view sports through that lens. I guess I'm saying all that just to say, you know what I'm saying, when I talk about sports and when I watch sports, I'm not just getting lost in the fandom of it. I'm actually just appreciating the strategy and things of that aspect. But I wanted to come holler at y'all today, particularly because, you know what I'm saying, it's three um game sixes tonight in the NBA playoffs that are all, the series are all 3-1s. I believe two of the teams are the road teams, the underdog teams, just trying to close out another team on their home court. And just watching these playoffs and really watching the playoffs the last few years, I come to realize that sports, particularly basketball and football, is not really the setup of the playoffs is not really a proper measurement of who's actually the best team. because every year in the NFL and in the NBA, when it comes to the playoffs, all you're really watching is what team is the healthiest at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? You can go back to the last 3 or 4 champions in basketball and football. You've never really seen a matchup of two complete total teams. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least throughout the duration of the playoffs. In basketball and football, the measurement of who's the best team is rarely ever decided on the field. It's usually always decided depending on what team is healthy at the right time. You know what I'm saying? You go back in basketball, let's just say last season, you had the New Jersey Nets, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. They wasn't never a healthy team to be able to get on the court in the playoffs to actually let it be seen and let it be known who was the best team. You know what I'm saying? You go a couple years before that when the Toronto Raptors played against the Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant went down with an injury. Kyrie, Klay Thompson went down, you know what I'm saying, with his injury. Toronto Raptors get the championship, but of course, they never got to play against, Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors never played against a full Golden State Warriors team. Hell, you go back to the first year that the Golden State Warriors won the championship when they beat LeBron and them. Not only did LeBron's team not have everybody, not only were they injured as hell, but the Golden State Warriors to even get to the championship beat the San Antonio Spurs because Kawhi Leonard got injured by Zaza Pachulia in the playoffs. And when you watching these sporting, you know what I'm saying, watching sports, man, and then like right now it's a big push with a lot of the gambling. You got the DraftKings and you got the, you know what I'm saying, this MGM's sports betting. All of this gambling that they doing with these sports nowadays is really it's fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't never really tell what team is going to do what versus who, because you never know when there's going to be a big matchup that's going to completely swing the, you know what I'm saying, uh, swing the odds in one team's favor or another. You know what I'm saying? And you always get brothers having arguments and, barbershop talk and stuff about what team was the best, or you hear a lot of the who's better between Jordan and LeBron, all these different types of conversations. When in reality, come on, man, a lot of that stuff isn't even really decided on the court because you never really have the best teams matching up against one another. You know what I'm saying? But with the playoffs, the way that they matching, the way that they coming together now, it's seeing some amazing performances by certain players in certain situations. Like I watched the Miami versus Milwaukee game the other day. Amazing clutch performance by Jimmy Butler, man. Butler been one of my favorite basketball players for a few years now. You know what I'm saying? Even all the way back to when Jimmy played for the West Virginia Mountaineers. I remember when Jimmy Butler was playing for West Virginia, him and that boy Jay Crowder, they had a good little squad, you know what I'm saying? But Jimmy coming out of college was really like primarily a defensive player. You know what I'm saying? And to see him, go to Chicago, he was on that squad with Derrick Rose and Carlos Boozer and Jakeem Noah. They did their thing for a good little while. And then eventually with Derrick Rose's injuries, you know what I'm saying, Jimmy grew to be the player who was the main guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? To watch him be able to flourish and go to the different places he's went and take his career where it's gone, it's always dope to be like, yeah, I remember when that cat was, you know what I'm saying, first started out balling, man. But that boy was clutch against Milwaukee the other day. But at the same time, Miami, he was clutch. He scored 56 points, was very efficient. Miami got the W. Miami's up 3-1. You know what I'm saying? They the number 8 seed. They got in there with the play-in game tournaments that they have in the NBA right now. But when you go back and look at it, and historically, after the season is over, when we all get to go back and just look at how this team that was ranked 8 in the playoffs and didn't really do nothing all regular season come to being able to beat the number 1 team, everybody gonna remember Giannis was out for the first 3 games of this series. Giannis didn't even play. First game he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Miami was able to win that game. Second game without Giannis, the Bucks won. And then the third game, Giannis didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Miami was able to get the win. And he came back in the fourth game, and yeah, Miami got the dub, but it's like you playing against the number 1 team that don't even have their best player. And historically, you can't. It's not even going to be able to be weighted against Giannis because he was hurt the first few games. What's going on with y'all? What's going on with Zakia? What's going on, Makulai, man? I'm just chopping it up about some sports right now. If y'all brothers on the way in, y'all can. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving my perspective on the NBA playoffs right now. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk a little bit about the draft, talk about the off-season free agency. You know what I'm saying? The Jets just got Aaron Rodgers. I want to talk about them not letting what's my boy in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, get his contract. So I'm just chopping it up. This is gonna be just a chop up session for the day. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about some sports. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got an opinion, y'all can weigh in. But back to the Miami Heat, you know what I'm saying? Milwaukee Bucks series. While Jimmy is playing lights out and Jimmy is establishing himself as, you know what I'm saying, a cat who really turned it on in the playoffs, you can't even really take nothing away from Milwaukee or from Giannis because Giannis ain't even been playing. He hurt his back in the first game. He was out for 2 games in a row. So tonight being game 5 back in Milwaukee is a very big game for Milwaukee. But I just honestly don't see if they're gonna be able to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Milwaukee gonna be able to beat Miami because of the way Jimmy Butler's playing. You know what I'm saying? And again, going back to the injuries and how injuries affect, these playoff series and stuff like that. Miami had Tyler Hero, was one of their best perimeter players, get hurt in the first game of the series. But what that did for Miami though, Tyler Hero getting hurt made room in the rotation for other players to be able to get on the court. If you somebody that's watching football, watching basketball, Duncan Robinson was one of the best perimeter shooters in the league 3 years ago in the NBA. After he showed out with Miami in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, they sat him down, gave him a big contract. But he didn't perform after he got that big contract. And Tyler Hero started to show out. So Tyler Hero became the premier guy. You know what I'm saying? And after Duncan Robinson started playing real slow, what did Miami do? Miami went ahead. Come on, bro. He dropped the pass. After Duncan Robinson started to playing real slow, then you had the emergence of the other guys that Miami been leaning on. You got that boy Max Strus. You know what I'm saying? You got Kyle Lowry. It's another cat, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, and Caleb Martin. Like all of them was able to get in the rotation in Miami because of Duncan Robinson playing real sorry. But because of the injury to Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson back on the court. Duncan Robinson hit 3 clutch threes in that comeback, you know what I'm saying, that Miami had against the Bucks. But if it wasn't for Tyler Hero ever getting injured, Duncan Robinson maybe never make it on the court. And Tyler Hero really last few months hadn't been playing real good. So who knows what Miami would have did if it wasn't for him getting hurt. But it just go to show you that injuries always plays a major part in a lot of these playoff series and a lot of what determines what teams are able to move on. You know what I'm saying? You look at another game tonight, that's a closeout game. You got the Los Angeles Lakers trying to close out the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? John Morant, one of the most exciting players in the NBA, hurt his hand. You know what I'm saying? That first game against the Lakers. I think his hand was already hurt. But the way he plays, he real aggressive, high flyer type of cat. You know what I'm saying? He didn't motherfucking put himself in a position where he can't really be as impactful as he's used to being because of that injured hand. Come on, you gotta get the interception, bro. So, like I said, tonight, a lot of teams, and historically, everybody gonna look back and say, man, the Lakers beat the Grizzlies. The Lakers was the first, the number 7 seed playing against the 2 seed. Everybody look at all the trash that the Memphis Grizzlies was talking, and I personally like the way that the Memphis Grizzlies be talking trash. But when it's all said and done, nobody's gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn Grizzlies missing 2 of their big men. Both of they starting center and they backup center is hurt. You know what I'm saying? Steven Adams been out all season. Steven Adams is a big, giant, Nordic motherfucker. Look like the cat that play Jason Momoa. Look like the cat that play Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? Historically known as he got the reputation of being one of the biggest, strongest, most powerful, you know what I'm saying, cats in the NBA. Then they also had Brandon Adams. What's his name? Not Adams. Forget their backup center. You know what I'm saying? But he hurt as well. So nobody's gonna remember. Yeah, they're gonna remember that LeBron and AD took out the Memphis Grizzlies. They're gonna remember that, this team of cats that usually be running their mouths got shut up. But nobody gonna remember, oh man, the Memphis Grizzlies was undermanned, playing without any of their big men. You know what I'm saying? But that don't never get remembered when the history books goes back and says, man, look at LeBron and them on their way to, his 20th season they beat the number 2 Memphis Grizzlies. Nobody going to give the excuse that the Memphis Grizzlies ain't even have their top 2 players. Then you got another big game tonight is going to be between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. One of the things I love about sports, man, is being able to watch certain players grow. You know what I'm saying? And I think this might just be particularly a black experience when it comes to sports. A lot of us come from different situations and different circumstances where we all knew super athletic cats that had dreams or had promise to be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I grew up with a lot of cats who was real skilled in sports, man, real skilled in athletics, but their academics wasn't on par enough to be able to get them to go to college or to be able to get them to get the scholarship they wanted to get into big school. So when you see cats that come from your area, see cats that come from your, community, or to come hell from even from your state, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, I grew up in a DMV area. To see cats like Kevin Durant, man, and to see cats like hell, Ty Lawson was one of my generation players. To see these cats who you knew or grew up in places that you knew how rough it was, to see them make it and to see them develop and become the type of players that they become is like, man, like he really stuck with it. He did it. You know what I'm saying? We was all hanging out, going to the mall. He was in the gym shooting, and it paid off for him. You know what I'm saying? Certain players, even if I don't know them, just watching their journey and watch what how they come up and get in the league and maybe don't always be the flash in the pan that they were supposed to be, but it might take some years for them to develop. It's just I can't explain it, but it'd be like, yeah, man, you finally see a cat getting his just due. And for me this year in the playoffs, has been that boy, De'Aaron Fox for the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox came into the league. He did 1 year in college, real fast, you know what I'm saying, athletic. He was really like a John Moran type cat. But then when he got drafted to Sacramento, it was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never going to be able to do shit because don't nobody that get drafted by Sacramento ever get to be able to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And so being on the West Coast out there in Cali, I have not seen a lot of his games. I can't say I've ever watched De'Aaron Fox play this season. Knew Sacramento was doing good, but to watch him in the playoffs against the Golden State Warriors has just been like, man, this cat has arrived. He a grown man now. He out there, he got his game complete, man. He got the handle. He's still fast, you know what I'm saying? He's still able to get anywhere he want to on the court. But also, the boy got a jumper. You know what I'm saying? Got a wet jumper, mid-range floaters. You know what I'm saying? His layup package is crazy getting to the rim. You know what I'm saying? He can't be checking one-on-one because he'll cross you, step back, stop in the middle of the lane. You know what I'm saying? Shoot the jump shot. So watching De'Aaron Fox ball out has been like, man, he on the big stage now. And he ain't scared of the lights. He's showing out. But then another one got injured. You know what I'm saying? They said he broke his pointer finger on his shooting hand. He left-handed shooter. You know what I'm saying? So he going to play tonight against Fox is a dog, you know what I'm saying? But Fox, they've been balling out. I really was mad that Harrison Barnes didn't make that jumper, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the last game because it was like, bro, if y'all go up 3-1 and y'all going back to sack, series is over. But by him missing that shot, then we find out De'Aaron Fox hand is hurt. It's like, come on, bro. If they don't win tonight, and Golden State closed the series out in 6 back in Golden State, everybody going to say, oh, look, you know what I'm saying, the defending champions, they couldn't be stopped, they couldn't be beat down, and I'm going to have to hit Draymond Green continue to talk shit. But it's like, bruh, De'Aaron Fox broke his finger. That's why y'all won. If he didn't break his finger, y'all wasn't finna do shit. But again, the history books is not going to remember De'Aaron Fox broke his finger and wasn't his best in Game 5. If you hit that court and your team lose, you lost. And all history going to remember is, history just remembers the winners. They don't remember the excuses for the losers. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one of the things that when you're dealing with sports, man, this shit it's just random. It's real random. You know what I'm saying? You can't never really tell. In most cases, you never really get an opportunity to tell who was the best because you got to take into account the injuries. But like I said, a lot of time in history, they don't take into account the injuries. Nobody give a damn. All they give it, especially if you arguing with somebody, they're not gonna say, they're not gonna give you, yeah, you right. Well, they was injured, they was hurt. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? You argue with somebody about Kawhi Leonard being the best, you know what I'm saying, being so clutch and this and that. You bring up that Toronto championship and you say, well, they really only won because Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson got hurt. Ain't no Kawhi Leonard fan gonna let you get away with that. They're gonna say, nah, that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the sport. And while that's true, it's rarely ever acknowledged or recognized, you know what I'm saying, in the history books. History tells the story of another one, for instance, San Antonio Spurs. Deloitte, I don't know if Deloitte gonna appreciate this, but I know my man King Mike gonna appreciate it. He's a San Antonio Spurs fan. I've been a Knicks fan my whole life, like I said, because of Patrick Ewing, watching him play when I, you know what I'm saying, as I was growing up, right? The New York Knicks' first championship came in Tim Duncan's rookie year, but it also was the lockout year. And in that lockout year, I believe in the championship, Charles Oakley got hurt. So the starting five for the Knicks when Charles Oakley was playing was Ewing, Oakley, Johnson. Oh, no. I think Ewing was hurt. Because I think they ended up with Camby, Johnson, Allen Houston, Johnston. I don't remember what the lineup was, bro, but I know somebody got hurt for the Knicks. Matter of fact, it was Oakley. Oakley got hurt, and it was just Patrick Ewing and I believe it was a young Marcus Camby. You know what I'm saying? And when we lost, everybody applauded Tim Duncan for being so great and for being so amazing, and they had the Twin Towers. But nobody wanted to acknowledge or recognize that the Knicks was incredibly undermanned. You know what I'm saying? And it was frustrating for me being a Knicks fan because that was the first year that we really had a chance with Michael Jordan that being in the league. Like it was after Michael Jordan had retired, and it was like this Knicks squad was balling, bro. I could pull up the rosters on 2K, but we had a balling squad. And motherfucking Ewing got hurt, bro. And then I just had to hear from everybody how the Knicks wasn't nothing there. You go back, if I argue with somebody who was a Tim Duncan fan, if I argue with somebody who, say Tim Duncan's the best power forward ever, and I bring up, man, your man wasn't even that good. He barely got a championship against an undermanned Knicks team. They gonna laugh at me. They gonna say, nah, bro, nobody remember that. You know what I'm saying? All they remember is how great and amazing Tim Duncan was, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say the NBA playoffs is been real exciting so far, but I feel like a lot of the teams that are, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these matchups haven't really been fair because a lot of teams are missing a lot of players. I look at the Los Angeles Clippers, you know what I'm saying, and this might be speaking to the point I think you was making, Makola. I'm gonna read what you said in a second. But I think about that's crazy, bro. I just got an interception. My man, I tried to get down and kick a field goal before half. This nigga gonna fumble on the kickoff return. I mean, fumble on the interception return. Anyway, Michael, I said it's a time where we can't tell who the best because the oppressor come through and stop a couple brothers like AI. Nah, I can't give you that, Michael. The oppressor didn't stop Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson stopped Allen Iverson. And that's another thing, okay? That's another aspect of the sports conversation, you know what I'm saying, it's get brought up a lot. A lot of times people bring up that it's rigged or that they want certain teams to win or the odds are skewed in certain teams' favors. I'm somebody that look at sports with rosy colored glasses on, man. I don't think that they cheating. I don't think that they, having the refs lean towards one team or another. Because I look at the game from an X's and O's perspective, because I look at the game and I see, the strategy in it, I can watch a game and I can tell you why a team lost. I can watch a game and tell you where the refs been calling it this way the whole game, bro. Like they knew from the first 5 minutes it was going to be a physical game, or they knew from the first 5 minutes they wasn't calling no ticky tack fouls. You know what I'm saying? And in most cases, teams and coaches adjust. They recognize, all right, y'all, you see they letting us play out there. So you got to be, be ready for this, be ready for that. Most players, most coaches, they adjust. But a lot of times, coaches, if they don't adjust, it's because he might not have been aware. He might not have had the awareness to tell the team, hey, listen, this is how they playing this is how they calling it, this is what we got to prepare to do. And so when I watch sports, I've never seen a situation in a sporting event where it's like, bro, they cheating. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. So yeah, I remember Allen Iverson's career. I don't think Allen Iverson was never cheated out. Allen Iverson was never stopped from being able to do nothing that he was capable of doing. But Allen Iverson did go up against a lot of teams when his team wasn't complete. You know what I'm saying? So I will give Allen Iverson that. But also, Allen Iverson was on the receiving end of one of them playoff series where players was hurt. I believe that year that Allen Iverson and them beat the Bucks. Bucks had Glenn Robinson. The Bucks had Ray Allen. Come on, man, that Bucks squad was stacked. Eddie Johnson. They had Hershey Hawkins. I believe they had Hershey Hawkins. I forget who they had, man, but they had a squad. Allen Iverson beat them in the in a damn conference championship. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because of no, it was just Allen Iverson them overachieving. And I know the Bucks had some injuries in that series. But again, history don't remember that Bucks team. And that's sad that history don't remember that Bucks team, but that was a fucking squad. You know what I'm saying? The same way history don't remember the '93 Seattle Supersonics that lost to the Denver Nuggets when they had Mutombo. The people don't remember that Seattle Supersonics team had some injuries. Sean Kemp wasn't playing like himself. They didn't have a backup center. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different times throughout history that teams be forgotten because nobody takes into account the injuries in sports. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to say this about the Kawhi Leonard because you watch Sports Center and you watch Stephen A. Smith and these cats, and they always got some shit to say. They always talking about who's doing this and who's not doing that. But one of the things that bothered me about the Kawhi Leonard situation in particular is Kawhi. People don't. There's like they not even acknowledging it in the media that his sister just got sentenced to life in prison for murdering some old, you know what I'm saying, white lady in a casino. You know what I'm saying, a few years back, and it's like okay, that's not an excuse, but goddamn, this brother's dealing with some real serious family issues. We don't cut him no slack for that. Like he can't even come out and say, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to play the next 2 games because my sister just got sentenced to prison." Like it's really impacting my family. I can't really go out there and just play a basketball game having just lost my sister. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to the oppressive aspect of it because it's like, damn, bro, the man can't even grieve. He can't just come out and say like right now, Kawhi Leonard's not playing. He ain't played his last couple games against the Phoenix Suns, and they just lost the series. You know what I'm saying? Paul George was already hurt. Kawhi Leonard in his last game looked real good, but he set the last 2 games out, and they all questioning him, his ability, his professionalism, and this and that. But nobody is saying, well, behind closed doors, Kawhi Leonard's been dealing with a very serious family issue. His sister, murdered somebody and was on trial. And I'm sure being Kawhi Leonard, his family probably had the best lawyers, and they probably thought that his sister was going to be able to get off and beat the case. But she didn't beat the case. She was found guilty. Then they had the sentencing date, and I would like to think that the judges and the lawyers in the case, even though this is a murder case, and I guess you can't be impartial, they could have scheduled the sentencing to be sometime other than the NBA playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. They didn't show him no favoritism. Scheduled it when they did, and so hey, he got to take some games off. He got to take some games off. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's unfortunate that these athletes don't get looked at as people when they're dealing with personal situations and circumstances like that. Like for me to turn on the news and have to hear how horrible or how unprofessional Kawhi Leonard is when nobody's taking into account the personal issues that he's dealing with. It just lets you know that even when you a high class $1 million, $40 million athlete, you're still just a nigga who expected to show up and do his job regardless of what you got going on, and that's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another thing. The Phoenix Suns get to move on, and you know what I'm saying, all they're gonna remember is Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker did their thing. But goddamn, they ain't even play against a complete Phoenix team. They ain't even play against a complete LA team. Nobody's gonna remember that first round series, the Phoenix Suns struggled to win 4 games against a team that had Russell Westbrook as their best player. Like then to watch Devin Booker talk a bunch of shit on the court is like, come on, bro, pipe down. You're not even that cold, Devin Booker. You're not even that good. You're only getting these shots open because Kevin Durant is on your team, bro. Like, don't front like you that guy because you're really not that guy. But again, they go on and win a championship. Devin Booker going to forever get to talk trash like he did something. And anytime somebody says, yeah, B, you only did it because Kevin Durant was on your team, He ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like I said, I like the, you know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying the NBA, NFL playoffs because, you know what I'm saying, cats are starting to, you know, cats is arriving, showing they growth and they skills, you know what I'm saying, in the sport. So it's good to see players like De'Aaron Fox, cats like Norman Powell, cats like Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? But with all the injuries that's going on, man, just feel bad for some of these cats that never gonna ever really get their just due because nobody's gonna remember that part of the reason why his team lost or he played like some shit was because he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? This bum ass cat I'm playing in this Madden blowing me. But moving on, man. You know what I'm saying? Big news in the NFL today. Aaron Rodgers just got traded officially from the Green Bay Packers to the New York Jets. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big move for New York and get them a certified, superstar Hall of Fame quarterback. But I don't know if it's gonna change anything in that AFC East. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the Patriots, you got the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall coming back. You know what I'm saying? You got the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They got James Cook brother. Uh, I forget the other Cook boy name out of Georgia. Then you got what other team in the AFC East? Then you got the Miami Dolphins. Ugh. I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be able to do anything. Come on, this nigga cannot guard me, bro. Yeah, if y'all, man, I be on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm streaming on Twitch right now, man. If y'all want to check me out on Twitch, all you do is go to Gaming While Black 144. Gaming While Black 144. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers has now taken over the reins, the quarterback for the New York Jets. I just don't think it's gonna be enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in terms of on paper, got a good squad, but I don't know. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be able to swing the pendulum enough in that AFC. But again, going back to football, one of them sports where really it just depends on who's healthy. If the New York Jets stay healthy, who knows what Aaron Rodgers being on that team could do. But again, are they going to stay healthy? Last year they missed the playoffs by one game, but their running back was hurt all season. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hell, you look at in the NFL every year, the teams who win aren't always the best teams. It really comes down to who's healthy at what time. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers being a quarterback. We'll see what happens with, Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? They definitely blackballed Lamar Jackson out there in Baltimore for that cat to be where he is in his career and at this place athletically, being one of the best players in the league, most athletic, fastest, you know what I'm saying, most clutch players. For him to not be able to get a contract, all because he decided that he wanted to set a precedent to represent himself and not have to hire a goddamn, uh, you know, um, agent to broker his deal. NFL stalling him out. You know what I'm saying? They stalling him out real bad. Not gonna let him get that money. Not gonna let him. And really, it's sad because what's happening with Lamar Jackson is a very it's abnormal in that it's long been known in sports that whoever's up for the next contract is going to push the bar a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? And whether or not Deshaun Watson pushed the bar too far with the deal that he got in Cleveland last year is of no concern of Lamar Jackson. Whether Lamar Jackson had an agent or not, the numbers that he's asking for with the guaranteed money and the money that he's supposed to get off the length of his contract is very routine. It's not like it's too much money. It's not like the teams can't pay. But because this nigga had the audacity to go and decide that he wanted to broker the deal himself, that's where the hangup is. And I listen to these sports talk cats and I realize just how much they all are in cahoots. Because if you go and look at the demographics, the sports agent industry is one that is primarily ran by one group of people. And that group of people don't want to lose their stranglehold on, that income stream. it's not coincidental that that same group of people that benefits the most from the agent industry are the people who also are in positions to run these goddamn networks where these talk shows is on and they're talking about these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's when Kanye West came out and said what he said last year, you know what I'm saying? And you had several people come behind Kanye and kind of piggyback off of what he was saying. Everybody tried to say that Kanye West was crazy. Everybody tried to say that he was being anti-Semitic when all he was doing was speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? And when these athletes get their opportunity to have their one time to shine and really be able to have the freedom and the control to be able to determine and dictate what they're going to do and where their career is going to be headed, the same people who are in control of being the agents and monetizing off of them brokering these deals are the same ones that get to go on the TV and smear your image and say you're being greedy or you're being selfish or you're not really playing ball the right kind of way. God damn, bro. It's like, how do y'all not see that all of this is, you know, just a the system is rigged against the people who, you know, are the ones complaining. It's just ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for what it is that Lamar Jackson is going through, but at the same time, you would like to think that these type of situations and circumstances would be eye-opening for the rest of the players. You know what I'm saying? One guy puts his life on the line, puts his career on the line, and takes a hit. You would hope that, somebody else would be appreciative of it and will say, well, you know what? He set the start, he set the tone. I'm gonna come behind him and follow up, you know what I'm saying? But as of yet, right now in the NBA, right, as of yet, because Lamar Jackson contract ain't been signed, and because we don't know what's gonna happen with him, going forward, it's like we gotta wait to see what the outcome gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But I personally believe that Lamar Jackson is gonna have to hold out this season and miss getting any money this season if he's ever gonna be able to get the contract that he feel like he deserves. You know what I'm saying? So I know the NFL right now, over the last few years, the NFL has exposed itself for being the good old boys club that it is. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL has put themselves in a position where publicly everybody's able to see what it is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? And for Lamar Jackson's sake, I just hope he has this bitch ass nigga. For Lamar Jackson's sake, I hope that he's able to hang in there and really stick it out to allow for the point to be proven. You know what I'm saying? That regardless of who you are, how well you play, how desired you are as an athlete, these people will halt your career if you don't play the game the way that they want it to be played. And the whole reason for me to, hope that he sticks through with it is because I believe if Lamar Jackson sets the precedent that he's attempting to set, more players will have the strength, you know what I'm saying, to be able to stand with him. And we may see a change in, a complete changing of the system in terms of how these contracts are dealt out and how these players go about getting their deals. Because, like I said, that agent industry is a crooked industry, and it's an industry that exists solely. It's an industry that exists solely to take advantage um, of these players and allow other people who really have no skills and have no talents and have no abilities to be able to line their pockets. You know what I'm saying? But it's a dirty game when you paying attention to the sports and you seeing what's going on. Everybody recognizes that it's oppression. Everybody recognizes that it's messed up, but nobody does anything. Nobody says anything because what can you do? What can you say? You know what I'm saying? And so it's just it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game they playing, and I hope for brothers like Lamar Jackson, man. He hanging there, do what he got to do, and of course I want to see all my niggas. You know what I'm saying? Get that money they deserve. So I hope he able to get that money, but I hope they don't get it for Baltimore. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even want to see Lamar Jackson play for Baltimore no more. I want to see Lamar Jackson be able to go and play for a team where he's truly gonna be valued. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna be appreciated. And you know what I'm saying? He get to go do his thing because they should have been played Lamar Jackson for real, years ago. They should have picked up renewed his rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? They should have signed him to a long-term deal then. They didn't want to get a brother his money. You know what I'm saying? And now that he's been threatening to go, he should just go ahead and go. Stick to his guns, you know what I'm saying? Let the principle be what matters the most. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it work out. 208, this faggot gonna try to kick the field goal, bro. I hate this bum ass shit. I should have kicked the field goal. I went for it on 4th and 1 on my 16-yard line. Should have just kicked the field goal. He gonna try to run the clock out now. But it's all good though, 'cause we got something for that. But yeah, though, um, boxing. I'm gonna talk about that Tank Davis and Garcia fight. A lot of people proved to me that they don't know a goddamn thing about boxing leading up to and after that Gervonta Davis Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I hate about boxing, I love boxing as a sport. Say all my uncles was boxers, you know what I'm saying? Brothers that know me, you know, Captain Yagarwap. Captain Yagarwap was a boxer. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my uncles in the world. You know what I'm saying? Cat was real skilled, won the Golden Gloves championship back in DC in the 80s. Like all of them, I've been around the game, you know what I'm saying, been around the sport for years, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I watch boxing for the X's and O's of it. I don't watch boxing, you know, just to see a knockout or watch boxing just to see somebody, you know, get their brains beat in. That's not really the art of boxing. Boxing isn't you know, it's not MMA. It's not just get out there and kick somebody ass and knock somebody out. There's actually a science and a, you know, skill, a very large skill gap associated with the sport. You know what I'm saying? And so leading up to the Ryan Garcia Gervonta Davis fight, really I was surprised that Garcia put himself out there because in that division that they in between cruiserweight and middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Cruiserweight and welterweight. In that division right now, you got 4 top tier boxers. You got Devin Haney, you got Shakur Stevenson, you got Gervonta Davis, and you got Garcia was included in that class. And out of the 4 of them, everybody who's ever watched them box knew that Garcia was the worst out of the whole bunch. But I guess Garcia felt like the best shot he had was against Gervonta, but I don't know why he thought that. Like, what made Davis think he could, in any, you know, world, planet, fuck with that boy? I have no idea. I don't know what made Garcia think that he had anything for Tank, but he thought it. And he got out there running his mouth and he brokered the deal. But I knew going in, there was nothing that Garcia could do better than Tank. He wasn't a better boxer. He wasn't faster. He was bigger. He was, you know, had bigger stature wise and bigger in terms of his fighting weight. But it doesn't matter when you get in the ring with somebody who's faster, who's more skilled, who's more talented. You know what I'm saying? And so I was really just looking to see Davis clown Slim. You know what I'm saying? They got in there, and that's exactly what Davis did. He clowned him. You know what I'm saying? If you get in, you go look at the first 2 rounds of the fight, and most people that don't know boxing don't know the first round or 2 is always the filling out phase. It's always the kind of, you know, you throw a jab out there, see how he react. You know what I'm saying? You faint a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Move your head, see what different reactions your opponent give you, see how they body moving. You know what I'm saying? When you have a fight like that, where you got 2 different style fighters, you got one that's southpaw and one that's orthodox. They got to get their footing straight. They got to see what I'm saying. See when I step here, where's he gonna step? Just they got to feel each other out. And in that first 2 rounds, Davis saw all that. Well, in the first in the first round, you know what I'm saying? They got a feel for one another. But you could see easily in the first round that Garcia did not want to let that right hand go. You know what I'm saying? He got a mean left hook, left uppercut. But in that first round, he did not want to let that right hand go. Then when he finally decided to go for the left, to go for the hook in the second round, when he was rushing Davis, he might have thought, yeah, I gotta rush him, put some pressure on him, you know what I'm saying? Just attack him a way that he never been attacked before. Soon as Garcia get to attacking Davis, come on, bro, he's a counterpuncher. That's what he does. What he does is wait for you to attack, and then he come in. Oh, that's crazy, bro. They just had my man throw a crazy interception, bro. I be hating this shit, bro. That was uncalled for, man. Niggas just did me dirt. And this bum ass nigga gonna get to think he good, bro. Anyway, um, Davis, uh, Davis knew after that first round, I'm gonna knock this boy out. Second round, he tried to rush him, tried to apply pressure, but Garcia wasn't recognizing, you know, just how skilled Davis was. When Davis caught him with that motherfucking left, boom, sat his ass down. The next 3 rounds, Garcia was not letting them hands go at all. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't be recognizing about boxing. Like, the sport moves so fast, and they be out there moving so fast with their hands that you don't be recognizing how often cats be getting tapped with flush shots. After that second round, every time Garcia went to loosen his hands to throw a left or to throw a right, his ass was getting tapped. And it got to the point where Davis was playing him to the left so bad, meaning Davis was asking him to throw that left. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where it was so bad that Garcia had no choice but to throw the right. He started throwing the right. He connected with a couple of them, but Davis knew he not comfortable throwing with that right. So once he came with the right, Davis was like, okay, I got him. I'm gonna knock him out. And that's why if you go if you go and look at the knockout punch, you know what I'm saying, that Davis caught him with. Davis caught him with a left while he was coming with that right. Davis, knowing that Garcia wasn't comfortable throwing them right hands, throwing them right hooks, he let him get comfortable the previous 2 rounds. In that 6th round and in that 5th round, he let Garcia get comfortable throwing that right straight, throwing that right hook. And Davis, knowing that that's the only, because the previous, after the knockdown, all the way through the 5th round, every time Garcia tried to let that left go, Davis made him pay. So Garcia got it in his mind, I can't throw this left. Every time I throw this left, he punishing me. I got to stop getting punished. You know what I'm saying? And once that was able to be established, Garcia started throwing the right. Garcia landed with the right a couple times. After that 6th round, Davis said, okay, I'm going to let him go ahead and get the right off. I'm going to open up for him to get the right off. I'm going to give him the right and see if he going to be stupid enough to take it. Sure enough, middle of the 7th round, Davis is moving towards the right. He's asking Garcia, throw the right, please, throw the hook, get it out there. You make a connect. Soon as he go to throw that right, Davis ducked that jump, come up with the left body shot, boom. And when I've never been a boxer. I guess all my uncles were boxers, and I've been around the gym when I was young, and I've seen cats get worn down. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a boxing game back in the day called Evander Holyfield Punch Out. And that Sega Genesis. And that Evander Holyfield Punch Out game, if you just work the body, you work the body. It was in between the rounds on that game, you would have to determine how you want to heal your guy. If you was playing somebody that was head hunting, the head to be all, I think it went from the regular color to being red to being gray. On Evander Holyfield, a real deal boxing game, if you was getting worked, getting just hit all in the face, then oh no, I'm not doing that. If you was just getting hit all in the face on that Evander Holyfield game, then your face would be red after like the first 2 rounds. Then eventually you kept getting hit, your head will be gray. Once the head is gray, you get hit, you get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? But if you got worked in the body would do the same thing. You hitting somebody's body, their body would be red, then you keep hitting them, going to the body, their body would be gray. And on the game, if your body got down to gray, you get hit in the body, your head went out. You'll say you get knocked out. That's what Tank Davis did to Ryan Garcia. Tank worked the head. He caught that boy with that body shot. Boom. And if you get hit in the liver, as a matter of fact, I watched the whole video on it. There's a whole science behind the liver and how it connects to the nervous system. You know what I'm saying? If you get hit with a bad liver shot, really a bad kidney shot, any body shot that'll really, you know what I'm saying, rattle your organs, your body just shuts down. That's what happened to Ryan Garcia. But it happened to him not by accident, not because of a lucky shot. It happened to him because from round 2, Davis was setting him up for it. And if you don't know boxing, you're not gonna understand. You miss all of that. People that don't know boxing, that aren't real appreciators of the art, you just look at it like, man, Tank running, or he ain't standing in there fighting. Why he keep backing into the corner? He's baiting him. He's letting him be aggressive. He's allowing him to feel comfortable coming forward, because him coming forward is what he wants. He wants him coming forward. He wants him attacking. He wants him comfortable to let his hands go so he can find the opening and light his shit up. That's what Tank Davis did. And you go look at Ryan Garcia's previous fights. He's always opened himself up to be to get worked, but he's never fought a fighter of the caliber of Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't surprising that Tank get that win. One of the things I hate about the sport of boxing is it's such a tribalistic sport. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near spiritual in how Mexicans gonna love their Mexican fighters. Puerto Ricans gonna love their Puerto Rican fighters. Dominicans gonna love their Dominican fighters, and it'll be damn near a race war behind this shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying, a lot of black and Hispanics at each other's throats behind their goddamn fight. When we gotta realize that just cause two niggas fighting, just cause he from, nigga from Baltimore don't mean he fighting for all of Baltimore, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just people who not true appreciators of the art, they really just tribalists. They really just, whatever their affiliation is, they'll argue for that and be down for that blindly. When you gotta, when it comes to athletics, man, come on, B. Whoever's the best is gonna be the best, man. It ain't gotta be a goddamn, you know, we on the edge of a race ride every time I got that Mexican fight against an American black fighter or a Judite fight against the Issacharite. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the tribe of Gad. You know what I'm saying? I'm Native Indian, so I ain't never had no teeth in the game. You feel what I'm saying? Hell, I grew up, I hated the Redskins. I didn't hate the Redskins. I just was a Cowboys fan. But it wasn't like, no, Cowboys and Indians, whose side you gonna choose? Like, that shit goofy as hell. There's a lot of people who, the reason why the sports lean those ways is because they know how easy it is for people to get caught up in that tribalism. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was a win-win. Hell, anytime you get a brother and two brothers in there fighting, they both doing it to, put their families in a better position and, you know what I'm saying, be able to put food on the table, clothes on their back. So I applaud those boxers when they get to those levels. I just hate to see what it does to a lot of the people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our brothers get caught up in that shit. Yeah, y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, elevate your mind, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see the sport for what it is. It's just a goddamn game. You know what I'm saying? It's just a goddamn game, a game where a motherfucker get an opportunity to make some money and put some food on the table for his family and better his, situation and circumstances. And I'm all for that. But we can't get lost in the propaganda and the hype, you know what I'm saying, that allow us to be pitted against one another. And that really goes for all of these sports. Basketball, football, it happens in all of them. You know what I'm saying? You see it to a greater degree with the boxing because of the nature of the art, because it's a physically, one-on-one, hands to the face, hands to the body type of activity. You know what I'm saying? But you see it in baseball. They just had the World Baseball Classic recently. You know what I'm saying? They had the Cubans playing against the Dominicans, and the Dominicans playing against the Puerto Ricans, and Puerto Ricans against the, you know what I'm saying, Mexicans and all these different countries, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that stuff is just really ways to keep us divided. You know what I'm saying? And as a people, we can't afford to be divided right now. Not at this time. You know what I mean? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, with everything going on in the world, hell, we all we got. And there's a reason why whenever we do something athletically, we're the biggest draw or the biggest ticket because, man, we the ones everybody want to see. You know what I'm saying? We the salt of the earth. We the people that got all the flavor. We the people that got all of the skills and all the abilities. We the people that, everybody wants to watch box. Everybody wants to watch play basketball, wants to watch play football. And once we acknowledge and realize that, we're the ones with all of the purchasing power. We're the ones with, the power to raise the bar and to set the prices and all of those types of things when it comes to commerce, when it comes to business, when it comes to entertainment. And maybe we'll all get on a page like Lamar Jackson is and, really demand being paid what we're worth. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna do it for me today, y'all. Anybody had anything they wanted to say, man? Y'all chime in. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. I appreciate y'all for riding with me again. Makula, see you came in here. Doc, how y'all was going on with y'all? You know what I'm saying? D Lloyd, salute to you. Salute to Shabar Azakya. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, with the angry perspective, I'm gonna be trying to go live about an hour every day, man, just talking about different topics. There wasn't really too much going on in the world. Y'all tune in, check out yesterday's show. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the biblical plagues of biblical proportions. Talked about the economic downturn that America is facing right now, and the BRICS conglomerate of nations that's coming together to challenge these Western powers on the financial stage. We also talked about, these natural disasters and what the Most High is doing in returning America back to its natural state. There's a lot that's been done historically in this nation to terraform the land and to transform certain regions and areas of the country from its natural habitat to what it is our oppressors could benefit from. And so that's why there's a lot of these floods and mudslides and all these things that's plaguing the western hemisphere right now, western coast of the country right now. And we also talked about the whole Tucker Carlson and the media fiasco. Y'all check out yesterday's show. Said today I was just chopping it up about some sports. Looking forward to seeing these games. I hope Miami close out. You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee. Anxious to see what's gonna happen with that Suns and Nuggets series. You know what I'm saying? You got Kevin Durant and them, but I honestly don't think Kevin Durant and them got enough for the Nuggets. I think that boy Joker's serious. The boy Murray is a beast. You know what I'm saying? I think Aaron Gordon checking Kevin Durant is gonna be major for that series. I don't think Devin Booker gonna get off. I don't think Chris Paul gonna get off. So it's really gonna be between Aiton and Durant. We'll see how they handle that. You know what I'm saying? But some good basketball, man. I'm looking to see the Lakers close out Memphis. Even though I'm down here in Memphis, I ain't know, just the Grizzlies ain't got enough. So I know they're gonna lose in the next round. I'd rather go ahead and see LeBron and them get a shot at whoever come out between Sacramento and Golden State. But I'm hoping Sacramento able to get that dub tonight and they go back to San Francisco and get that dub against the Warriors. I really don't want to see the Warriors move forward. They the only team that I think really they're the most dangerous team in the West. But if Sacramento can beat them, I think Sacramento becomes the most dangerous team in the West. You know what I'm saying? So I think really whoever wins that Sacramento Golden State series going to have the potential to be able to come out the West. I think on the East, man, if we get a Miami New York series matchup, that's going to be epic. You know what I'm saying? The way Jimmy Butler and them boys playing in Miami, the way Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying, RJ Barrett. It's another thing about sports I love too, man, is seeing different players the way they play. Like boy RJ Barrett got a mean layup package, but it's real unorthodox. It ain't no he ain't got no finesse lays, you know what I'm saying? But he got a real like throw the ball at the basket from 2 feet. Like RJ Barrett layup package is crazy, but he be getting the ball up there quick, bro. I like watching, you know what I'm saying, different things like that. Jalen Brunson's drive and snatch back and step back game is crazy in mid range. Jalen Brunson gets you. I watched one play. He caught the ball at the top of the key. He had the boy Jared Allen on him. He drove. What did he do? He crossed over. So he got the ball in his right hand, crossed over to the left, hit him with a hezzy going forward, and then snatched it. He sham got it with the left hand back to the right, and then hit a hezzy to the right, and then step back to the man. He killed Jonathan Allen, bro. I mean, not Jonathan Allen. He killed Jared Allen. And it's like, man, he had that in him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, them boys balling in New York. I don't know why Julius Randle acting like such a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man. So yeah, I'm excited about what's going on in basketball. Hey, I didn't get a chance to talk about the draft. The draft coming up. You know what I'm saying? You got I forget them cats' names. Byron Young? Bryce Young. You got Bryce Young. You got CJ Stroud. You got the boy Richardson out of Florida. I just hope, don't nobody waste no top 5 pick on Richardson. The boy gonna need years before he develop. But I think Bryce Young is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud. So I think it's gonna be Bryce Young 1, CJ Stroud 2, 3. I think it's gonna be Will Anderson. I don't think who the third pick? I think it's Houston the third pick. Or is it? Let me see. Let me pull it up right quick. But I think it's gonna be Bryce Young and then CJ Stroud. And then I think the third team that don't need a quarterback is gonna take Will Anderson. The third team gonna take Will Anderson. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up one of these mock drafts just so I can get the order. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you got Carolina first, you got Houston second, Arizona third. Yeah, Arizona taking Will Anderson. So it's gonna be Bryce Young gonna go first. They got Will Levis going second to Houston, bro. That shit's so racist, bro. That shit's fucking, bro. That shit is racist, bro. There's no way Will Levis is a better quarterback than Bryce Young, bro. That's out of this world. Or a better quarterback than CJ Stroud. So I'm reading. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all so y'all can see. This is a crazy mock draft, bro. They saw this, and that's another thing too that these sports be allowing you to do. It just lets you see how racist America is. Like this media be ridiculous. So this is on Yahoo Sports. I don't even know who the author is, but this is his mock draft. He got Bryce Young going first, Will Levis going second, Will Anderson going third. So I'm in agreement with the first pick and the third pick. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be CJ Stroud going to Houston. If Houston draft Will Levis, they're racist, bruh. It's absolute racism if they draft Will Levis over CJ Stroud. On what planet, by what metric are they deciding or determining that Will Levis is better than CJ Stroud? Will Levis didn't do, man. D Lloyd, what D Lloyd at? I don't know if D Lloyd's still in here. D Lloyd, a goddamn Kentucky fan. D Lloyd, what these boys is what they doing with their life, man? Man, D Lloyd to tell you real quick. They racist drama. So they got Bryce Young going first. See, I got CJ Stroud going second. Will Anderson. I don't think the coach should take Anthony Richardson. Should give him a couple years. You know what I'm saying? I think they should really go for a cornerback because they just traded away Stephon Gilmore to the Cowboys. But they got A Rich going fourth. Broncos going Jalen Carter and defensive line. That makes sense. Detroit Lions going Devin Witherspoon. That makes sense. Las Vegas Raiders does not need to go edge, bro. They need to go cornerback. Las Vegas Raiders already got I already got two beast defensive edge rushers. They got the Max Crosby and they got my guy from Arizona a couple seasons ago. Can't think of slim name. Yeah, Pittsburgh taking an offensive tackle. That don't make sense. Maybe it do make sense. I think maybe it makes sense. Chicago Bears taking the offensive tackle. Okay. Got the Eagles going cornerback. I don't know if they need that. Well, Levis though, they're tripping, bro. And then they got Tennessee going CJ Stroud. And 11? If Stroud falls to 11, that shit is a travesty. Texans is Lucas Van Ness. Green Bay Packers got offensive lineman Darnell Wright. New England going offensive lineman. New England better not go offensive line. New England better go goddamn wide receiver. They need some goddamn skill players out there. New York going O tackle. The Jets, I get them that. Commanders going Hendon Hooker. I hope Hendon Hooker don't end up with that's gonna be a plague on that boy career. That career over if he go to the goddamn Commanders. Falcons getting Bijan Robinson. Lions getting Nolan Smith. Lions getting Nolan Smith is crazy. The Lions getting Nolan Smith and pairing with Hutchinson. That's crazy. They already got a solid linebacker core. That's oof. Tampa Bay going Michael Meyer. Tampa Bay need to go quarterback. Tampa Bay need to trade up and go quarterback. Seattle getting Jackson Smith. That's crazy for a second for their second pick in the first round. They get the first wide receiver off the board though. They got the first wide receiver going 20th. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They got the first wide receiver going 20th. Maybe. I don't know. And the Chargers go get Zay Flowers. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Baltimore Ravens getting Joey Porter. That's crazy. That team stay stacked on defense. Minnesota going Deontay Banks. I ain't know Deontay Banks was balling like that for Maryland. Jacksonville Jaguars go Cyrus Owens. New York Giants go Brian Branch. Safety. I mean, yeah, but they already got the boy Julius Peppers from Michigan. They ain't do shit with him. They got the boy Landon Collins from Alabama. They ain't do shit with him. What Brian Branch gonna do? All right. Cowboys going Mississippi State Emmanuel Forbes. Yeah, Cowboys better hope motherfucking Bijan's still there, bruh. Cowboys need to go get a running back. Mozzie Smith for the Bills. Dalton McCabe for the Bengals. The Saints going to get Miles Murphy. That's a crazy. That's a big pick. Going to edge with motherfucking Jordan and Davenport. Eagles getting center Steve Avila and the Kansas City Chiefs. Damn, bro. Kansas City get Jordan Addison to add to what they already got. That shit ain't even fair. That shit ain't even fair, bro. And be teams without a first round pick. They got Miami taking Jahmyr Gibbs. That's crazy. Tanner McKee going to the Broncos. Man. You better than that draft Tanner McKee. You tripping. Yeah, that's it. That's the first round. I don't know. We're gonna see what shake with this draft. I might even do a draft night little jump. We'll see. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Hit the bell notification so when I go live, you get to go live with me. Like I said, once 1 hour a day, I'm going live. Angry perspective. You know what I'm saying? Angry Black Man Media, Chief Sock G, Captain Soccer War, straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana since 1969. For some of you, that may not mean anything, but for those who are learned and in the know, that means I'm certified, authentic, and authorized. And with that, salute. I'll holler at y'all.